I'm currently enrolled in Rob Lennon's AI content creation course, which is just incredible. And we're provided with some really interesting prompts to help us through the journey. And we're actually experimenting by using it on different models. And this tool called ChatHub is just really helpful when you want to try out a prompt across a range of models simultaneously. It also provides this interface in which you can compare them and even continue that conversation. So I have it set up here that I've got ChatGPT 4.0, I've got ChatGPT 4.0 Mini, we've got Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Claude Opus. But if you actually go into the settings, you can connect it to your current account. So OpenAI, Perplexity, Claude, Mistral, Gemini. Plus you can connect to APIs. So this is how I'm adding multiple models because I want to test GPT 4.0 but also GPT 4.0 Mini. So I'm connecting to the API as well. Similarly for Claude, I've got 3.5 Sonnet through the API but then added Claude Opus through OpenRouter. But you can add a whole range of models, and if you're interested, you can use their services. I think it's a subscription model, and you can actually access all of the models that way. But it's really useful, and I've got a bit of a prompt here now. We've got, please help explain what a hook is in content creation. And you can see we've got the different models. You can see which ones are the quickest, definitely 4.0 Mini and 3.5 Sonnet. 4.0 is a bit slower and looks like Opus is the slowest. And we can now actually start comparing the output of them. And for 4.0, we've got key aspects of a hook. It provides immediate engagement, sets expectation, emotional connection, relevance, and has provided a couple of examples. For 4.0 Mini, we've got its purpose, engagement, and interest. So only two kind of things there. Types of hooks, which is actually a bit different to what 4.0 provided. Anecdotal, question, quote, statistical fact, bold statement, or a visual hook. Placement, effectiveness, plus examples. So that's quite interesting. From a smaller, cheaper, quicker model, I think we've got a bit more than what we got from 4.0. We haven't looked at the examples, and the examples may be a bit better in 4.0. Starting with a provocative question or bold statement, for example, are you making this common mistake in your fundraising strategy? Whereas the example here is, have you ever felt overwhelmed by your to-do list? So possibly the quality of what's coming out in 4.0 is a bit better, but you can still see that 4.0 Mini has done a really decent job. Now we can look at Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and we've got purpose, placement, types of hooks. So this is actually what 4.0 Mini provided: questions, statistics, anecdote, quote, metaphor, analogy, etc. Characteristics, which is quite nice, importance, adaptability, and testing. And then Opus has got a bit of a shorter one, questions, quotes, anecdotes, statistics, similar things, but didn't provide us with any examples. But you may notice also the similarity in the AI model. Both 4.0 and 4.0 Mini provided examples, whereas neither of the Claude models provided examples. They had very similar outputs in terms of the characteristics. 4.0 and 4.0 Mini were kind of similar, but 4.0 Mini I think was a bit more expansive. So you can see it's a really useful tool in actually exploring both the similarities and the differences between different models. And as you're exploring and getting more into prompting, this can be really useful in identifying which models actually serve that prompt best. It's really interesting at the moment. We're finding that some models are better suited to specific types of prompts or queries that we're providing to it as opposed to others. If you're using the API, you obviously need to take into account the cost. And, again, considering the quality of 4.0 Mini, this just really seems to be a standout model in terms of cost, speed, and quality. So definitely recommend checking out ChatHub. You can go to chathub.gg. I think they got a few options. You got a Google Chrome plugin, which is what I'm using. as well as a web app where you can pay for that subscription. There is a free version where you can just compare 2 models, but in the paid version, you can even compare up to 6 models all at the same time. And if you want to start again, you can simply clear all of these, or you can continue this thread. So I'm just going to say, please give me 3 very creative examples. And you'll see that this thread just continues along all these different models. So really useful. I think it's can be really beneficial, especially when you are at that stage that you do want to measure your prompts against different models. Nice, easy way to do that comparison. If, as always, any questions, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you in the next video.